I'm with Aaron Downs ahead of the very first big kick-off, if you like, away at Buxton. As supporters, we're all excited, we're all buzzing. What's it like on the inside?
Yeah, excited. It's always good. The start of the season, you've got sort of fresh optimism and hopes and sort of ambition of how the season will look and how it'll play out. And everyone's sort of excited to get a little bit nervous, but excited to get going. Myself, it's been a busy week. It's been a busy couple of days, that's for sure. And, just trying to finalise everything and make sure that we're prepared going into this game, but also future games. What we can't do is prepare everything for one game and then think we've cracked it. So there's foundations we're laying. So we've got to make sure that we got the detail right for the opposition, but also focusing on ourselves and making sure that we're clear in what we're trying to do, for this game, but also for future games.
Very intriguing opener against Buxton, because they do normally like to play the ball on the deck. Lots of movement on and off the ball, but they've had a whole host of changes themselves. Something like 13 or 14 new players, new manager, Jordan Broadbent, I think it is, under 18s at Sheffield Wednesday. Did you ever come across him before?
No, I never come across Jordan before. Obviously, when I was a player, I played up that way, and I know quite a few people up that way. No, not as a coach. So, where I've coached is sort of the Southwest majority as a coach and as a manager. So no, not come across him, but yeah, they've had a busy summer as have we, and new manager in and a lot of changes with personnel. I believe the DNA of the football club's strong, and I think they recruit management, staff, and players according to that DNA. So I expect a certain type of game from them. I don't expect all of a sudden a massive change in style. But the manager will have his own way of playing and his own way of doing things, and he'll bring the experiences that he's built up over his coaching career into this management job. And what I do know is it's not going to be an easy game, and it's going to be a difficult game. And but yeah, it has been I'm sure a challenging summer for them, but that doesn't mean it's going to be an easy game. It's definitely going to be a tough challenge, a tough game, and a hard away trip.
As it's the first game, you haven't been able to really necessarily look at Buxton. Is it a question of more about what Hereford do than what you're worried about Buxton?
It's a little bit 60-40, sort of 75-25, sort of. You've got to focus a little bit on the opposition and what the challenges they're going to bring.
I mean, how easy is that, given that it's the first game of the season? You won't presumably have had footage or any inside knowledge.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of things, and you ask about football's a small game, and so I've got a bit of an idea of what's what. But at the same time, first game of the season, shapes, personnel, signings, all sorts of things can happen, differently to what you expect. So majority of the time we've been focusing on ourselves. We will do that throughout the whole season. We will try and focus on ourselves most of the time. We can't be naive. We have to be aware of opposition and strengths, weaknesses, and where we can capitalise on them. But at the same time, it's no good us spending all our energy and focusing all our energy on an opposition and not worrying about ourselves. So we are very much aware of what we need to do and how we're going to play and sort of the style and the way we want to do things. But at the same time, there's a couple of things I'll have to point out to the boys and they're aware of, so we're not completely blind going into the game.
I mean, they've been very successful in terms of getting into the playoffs, not been able to make that sort of next step. But their Achilles heel might actually be the artificial surface, because I think teams have lost that advantage that I think they really had in the past. Most teams play on it a lot of times now, so maybe because they lost 11 home games, I think, last season. If they had a slightly better home record, they might have been fighting right at the top of the table.
Potentially, yeah. That's obviously something you've obviously done your research and come up with. From my point of view, that's not something I'm necessarily focusing on. And that what they have done over the last couple of years is build up a reputation for developing young players and selling them on. I think that's a model they're trying to go for. So fair play to them, and they're trying to earn a little bit of money doing that and build a reputation for that. So it does give it's different challenges, because obviously they've lost quite a few this summer. Now it's their challenge to try and rebuild that squad and challenge at the top half. And I'm sure that would be their goal this year is playoffs again, if not automatic, and be at the top end of the table. So as we know, it will be a challenging day today and a challenging away fixture for us.
Talk about rebuild. Obviously, you've gone through that process here very much. Really hard work. Of the players that you've brought in, you're going to miss one or two along the way, I'm absolutely sure. But are you really happy with the squad overall?
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to pick up injuries throughout the season, and we've picked up a couple of pre-season. We'll pick up a couple, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks. It's the nature of the beast. But I'm really happy with the players that we've brought in, and they're all making an impact in their own way, on and off the pitch. I believe squad harmony is really good, and the unity and the togetherness is really good. And we've got a good leadership group that take sort of ownership of the changing room, which I'm really glad about and really happy to have as a manager. It's good that you've got the senior players and the sort of the vocal players running and leading that changing room, and so that's really good. So I believe that the environment and the way we're doing things is good. I'm happy with that, and I believe our performances have been relatively consistent and competitive throughout pre-season, so I'm hoping that we can carry that into today.
The latest acquisition, of course, Harry Tustin, announced this week. You must be delighted with that. I mean, I use a phrase for him that probably you never find in a coaching manual, and that's he brings you effervescence. He's full of energy, give you everything that he possibly can. I mean, he'll be able to slot in straight away because of his experience and his pattern of play inside out.
Yeah, we obviously have worked with Tuzzy over 2 years now, so really happy to bring him. Someone we've been looking to bring in most of the summer. It was a case of getting the timing right, and obviously Cheltenham using him throughout pre-season. So great that Cheltenham allowed us to have him just before the start of the season, because I was, it was sort of one of them where we're thinking it might be sort of back end of August. So really glad that we could get it done earlier. He's going to take a little bit of time to get up to speed match minutes wise. He's fit, he's ready to go. But just those match minutes he's lacking at the minute. But he's someone that played a massive part last season in keeping us up, and he's someone that I was really keen to bring back. And I believe the best of him still to come. We've got to challenge him on his numbers. He needs more assists, more goals. But what he does bring is, as you say, you've used effervescence, and we sort of. I agree on that, but he gives us great energy, great competitiveness, a willingness to tackle and break up play, and break the box and get into the box and make forward runs, make forward passes. And I know from at Cheltenham in his sort of youth days, he was a real high achiever in goals and assists. And I believe that part of his game is one of his strengths that he hasn't yet shown, and I believe he will be able to bring that out this year.
Off the pitch, you're going to have a lot of support up at Buxton. I think supporters are going to rally round, and that should give you the team a big lift on the opening day.
Absolutely. Again, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. We've got such a great support, the best support in the league, in my opinion, and we'll take hopefully a lot up there. I've heard there's buses from numerous different places going up, so. We're really blessed and really lucky, and we do not take it for granted, the support we've got. And it's my job and my role to make sure people are aware of the support we've got. I don't really have to make them too aware because they can see it, but make them understand how important it is, and that we reflect that in our performance and our attitude. And that's one thing I'm really big on. I want us to make sure that we don't let people down for our effort. And I believe we have that in us as sort of players and as a group. So hopefully we can give the city and the area a team they can be proud of this season.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.